What happened to General Motors? They are complete garbage nowadays, and they're way overpriced. They're having V8 issues like no other with their lifter failure, active fuel management, all this stuff that's been going on for years. It's like all we want, General Motors, is a reliable V8, and they can't figure it out in their 1500 Silverado. It's sad. And they're even having issues with transmissions as well. And they offer a 4-cylinder 2.7 in their Colorado, and it's the same engine they put in their full-size 1500 pickup. And some people love that little 4-cylinder, but I'm like, hey, it's $50,000 for a 4-cylinder full-size truck. Are you kidding me? So it really makes me wonder, like, that is completely overpriced. It's a joke. And I'm a Chevy guy, but this new stuff just isn't there. It's not as reliable as it used to be, and it's been going downhill for years. And the other crazy part is even Chevy dealerships are getting stuck with C8 Corvettes in stock right now. If you were in the market for a C8 over the last 4 years, you know it's been crazy with dealer markups, and no one had inventory ever, generally speaking. There were some good dealers out there that didn't charge markups, but normally they had really long waiting lists. And now most Chevy dealerships can have inventory of C8s in stock, which is crazy. No markups and even discounting Chevy Corvette C8s. And it's like every brand, they're just going to more plastic to be less reliable, cheaper made, and you guys know General Motors has never been known to be the highest quality. And it's going nowhere but down in my opinion, and it's just been a disaster. I would rather buy a 2005 Chevy than a new one now. That just shows you how bad they're doing. And unfortunately with this V8 issue not going anywhere, unless General Motors just eliminates active fuel management and dynamic fuel management and says we're done doing this stuff, then maybe it will change. But if they stay on the path, it's not reliable. Think about it. You have an engine deactivating cylinders, dragging it around while it's running. It's not a recipe for a reliable engine, and it hasn't been at all. But I honestly don't think General Motors cares, because all they care about is right now. They don't care about the future. If they do fail or if something happens, they know that they're always going to get bailed out, so they have no risk. And I think that's one of the biggest things, that most people are on the same page. If you ask the average person, should we bail out General Motors, they're going to say no. If you ask them if we should have in the past, they're probably going to say no as well, considering it's like every single working American paid General Motors a car payment just for being General Motors. I think they lost over $11 billion of our tax dollars. So yes, people are salty at General Motors. They don't have a free market mindset where if they do something wrong, they pay the price because they haven't in the past. And they're just selling overpriced junk. We've been to dealerships across multiple different states, and we see a lot of them, and almost every single General Motors dealership's full to the brim. Literally, they have no inventory. Their overflow lots are full. We have 23s in the lot, 24s in the lot, and a whole lot of 2025s just sitting around that no one's buying. And General Motors is pushing hard for EVs, but guess what? It's really unfortunate because no one's buying their $100,000 EV Silverado, or their $100,000 EV Sierra truck, or their $150,000 GMC Hummer, or even more, I think. They're insanely priced. So most dealers are just putting dealership tags on them, and they're driving them around for themselves, because that Hummer is sitting at the lot for 6-7 months before it sells. Because it's $175,000. It's insane. And I even went up to like base model work trucks, and they're almost $50K. So it doesn't make sense price-wise. A Chevy Colorado will be basically $40 to $50K for nearly a base model two-wheel drive. It's crazy. It doesn't make sense. So me personally, as a GM guy, considering they're having all these issues with their transmissions, with their engines, with all this stuff, with the pricing, I wouldn't want to buy any of this stuff anymore. I really wouldn't personally. And even the C8, some people like the older one better. They're like, I'd rather take a C7 with the manual rather than this new crap. And I saw one for over $160,000. Yeah, it was a Z06, but still, that's a lot of money for a Chevy Corvette. And it really makes me wonder, does General Motors even know who their clientele base is, especially the executive team? Offering $100,000 trucks all over the place. It just is what it is. They think everybody can pay it. Here's the financing sign right here. But they have to realize people can't, and this stuff's way overpriced, and the quality's low, and guess what? Of course, the CEO. I think she is the highest paid out of the Detroit 3. It's pretty crazy. Over $29.5 million per year. And it really scares me with automotive companies, because the more they pay the CEO, like Carlos Tavares, it seems like they screw the company up. But that's the thing, CEOs of these automotive companies have really never been held accountable, and they never will be. It's pretty crazy that she is the highest paid, but General Motors over the last few years, compared to the domestic manufacturers, has been doing better but still, that's not saying much. So it's all overpriced junk. In my opinion, I wouldn't want to buy any of this stuff, but I'm real curious to know what you think. Are you interested in any General Motors product? Would you buy any of this stuff? To me, it's all just overpriced junk. Let me know what you think. Have a great day and stay blessed.